An infrastructure-led recovery is on the plan for Gauteng province. But what does this mean? And who will benefit from this 23 billion rand investment? The MEC for Transport and Infrastructure, Jacob Mamabolo, joins me. I'm Peter Ndoro, and this is For the Record. For a lot of people in Gauteng, you've come with happy news. 23 billion infrastructure project book. What on earth is a transport infrastructure house?
Let me say to the residents of our province and of course to all investors in our country, outside the country, that we have established and set up the Gauteng Transport Infrastructure House. The reason why we have done this is that we have realized that over the past years, and this is also acknowledged globally, that in the build and construction environment, which is critical for the delivery of infrastructure to support economic development, there are big problems there of underperformance by the build and construction sector. And this relates to poor performance in the area of, just the time it takes to deliver infrastructure. It takes long, and also we've got poor quality issues, and most importantly, the cost overruns. So these three things affect internationally project performance, and investors will agree with me that this is what affects investor confidence and appetite to invest in a particular area. And even residents, who may not necessarily be investors, their pride of residents, the pride that they have that I live in this area, I'm part of what's going on, it's affected by initiatives that don't actually get to mature, and we see good results and positive impact. So the Gauteng Transport Infrastructure House is really intended to bring in efficiencies and effectiveness in the delivery of infrastructure projects that are critical to growing the economy. Given also the severity of COVID-19, I think we need to work much more better, much more differently, in a new way, and provide good leadership.
Have you identified where some of these builds are going to be? I guess sometimes it's which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do you build the road to inspire the infrastructure, the developments, or do the developments come to you and say, we want to develop, we need a road? How does it work?
So let's look at international best practice. If you just look at how the Euro space or the Eurozone has integrated different markets, this was as a result of the networks, particularly in transport, the transport infrastructure, creating links between and amongst markets. So what we have here in this province is with respect to new roads, what is important is for any developer, like real estate, investors in real estate or property developers, they can't move one step unless we can provide the road required as the backbone of that investment. Let me give you a practical example. There's a development that is worth about between 12 and 13 billion in the city of Tshwane along the Apis River called Rainbow Junction, a new city that's going to come out of that. This 12 billion private sector initiative, it's held back many years by our inefficiencies as the department that is supposed to deliver the road to anchor and basically support that investment. So the chicken and egg situation for me comes in the sense that without roads, even the municipal approval of big private investments, without seeing how you're going to deal with traffic volumes, movement and flow of people, that won't be approved. So we have to work differently. COVID-19 has meant we can't go back to the way we used to work. We now have to do things differently, and it requires leadership to lead, to make sure that these things are going to happen. And that is why we have created dedicated, high-skilled capacity that's going to turbocharge the way we deliver infrastructure. And also we must excite investors. We must make investors feel there's a new environment in Gauteng province, and the roads are the backbone of freight that's movement of goods, of people, and just driving the economy.
So how do I believe you when you say things are going to be different? What is it that you're bringing to the table that's going to be a game changer?
So the first thing we're putting on the table is this dedicated, focused capability, because we know without capacity, without leadership, without dedicated resources to look at that. So that's the first thing we're bringing. The second thing you're going to see, let's say from myself, for example, as MEC, as the political head of the department, is every Friday, you are going to see us with the mayors, with the MMCs, that's members of mayoral committees in municipalities, doing what we call Smart Mobility Fridays. So we're doing two things. We're building new roads, but we are also maintaining existing roads, patching potholes, because COVID-19 has meant lockdowns, no work in patching the roads, massive backlogs, heavy rains. So Smart Mobility Fridays, you're going to see us right there, and we're not going to break the level of consistency. We're going to do it for the entire remaining period of the term. So that is going to mean dedicated focus on the road network, but not only roads, even rail, expansion of Gautrain, we're going to be monitoring that. So this house we are creating, it's, for me, a game changer. This is the 80% factor, because without institutional capacity, without institutional leadership, nothing is going to happen. So what we are bringing and the new normal post-COVID-19 moving forward, you are going to see dedicated, consistent capacity to drive efficiency and effectiveness. That is new.
All right. So now the other thing that we've seen over time is you have good leaders that are deployed in certain areas. Jacob Mamabolo then gets redeployed because he's done so well. Can this carry on without those individuals? This will be the key for its sustainability into the future.
That is exactly the weakness of what we have been doing. Once you fail to build institutional capacity to sustain change, it will depend on the availability and presence of one single individual. That is actually the tragedy of what we have been trying to do. Our work must not depend on a single individual. Build institutions when Mamabolo is not there, because it's definitely not going to be there forever. Is there institutional capacity to sustain the work instead of see Mamabolo alone doing drama here and there? So the different thing here is the transport infrastructure house. It is such dedicated capacity that will outlive Mamabolo's presence.
All right, so this is a game-changing moment. When will we start to see and feel and observe that, wow, something is happening?
So the residents of our province are under extreme, difficulties of moving smart on the roads because of bad, roads currently. So this Friday, we are starting with a launch, working with the city of Joburg on the program of Smart Mobility Fridays. So we are starting this week. You'll see us every Friday on the roads, fixing potholes, doing road maintenance, cutting grass, checking signage on the road, painting, and doing all that. So that is, we have just launched hardly a week. We're following like that. So since we launched, and then next week and every week. So we didn't launch and unveil a dream, something still pie in the sky. No. We launched on on Thursday, and already next Friday, which is this week, we're going to be on the road doing the work. So we're not talking about things that are still wild dreams, far-fetched. We're talking about real things we have planned. During the lockdown, we were planning all this work. We were hard at work. And now we have been preparing the kitchen. We have been cooking. Now we are going to dish, and you'll see it. And the cooker is the best.
All right. And finally, perhaps the other thing that we've always been worried about, national working with province, working with cities. Is that something that you've found a solution for?
So one of the reasons why the people of our province have really been suffering poor road maintenance is because some of the roads that we have, they start as provincial roads. They go into small localities, they become municipal roads. When it becomes so who's responsible for maintenance, then there's back and forth. So what we're going to be doing is signing memorandum of understandings, MOU, with municipalities to deal with that, because we must be like a road user. A road user doesn't say, I'm now on the municipal road, I'm now on the provincial road, I'm now on the national road. They're on the road. So even with us, we must follow the people we serve. The people we serve want to move in the smartest way possible. We and the municipalities must work in that way and do away with this historic problem of it's your problem, it's my problem. So we are solving that, and that is the new normal. Working together with municipalities, including with Sanral National, to fix and support and build new roads and make sure that we have seamless, smart mobility in the province of Gauteng.
MEC Mamabolo, it sounds very exciting. We wish you the best of luck. And we are waiting, with bated breath to see these developments. But thank you so much indeed, and good luck.